Hello and welcome to today's lesson. We're going to learn how to organize and style form elements. Looking in front of you, you'll see a login form. It doesn't look very good yet, so I'd like to organize it a little. First, I'll enclose all of the form elements within the field set element. After refreshing the page, we notice that a border has appeared around the form. Next, I'd like to add a title to the form. This is what the legend element is for. Between the tags, I'll write login and hit refresh. As we can see, the border divided and the title is displayed in the space. Now I'd like to neatly align both of the form fields. Since I'd like to avoid writing a large amount of code, I'll use CSS right in the document's header. I'm going to set the alignment by assigning a couple of properties to label elements. First, I'm going to use the float property to make the label float to the left. I'm going to equalize the different widths by setting the width property to 150 pixels. Next, I'll align the text toward the form fields, which is to the right. After refreshing the page, we can see the form now looks a lot better. Still, the right margin of the description should be somewhat larger. To accomplish this, I'll add the margin right property to the style definition and set it to 10 pixels. After refreshing the page, we can see a better looking form, except that the box stretches across the whole page width. I'm going to add the field set selector into the style element. To make it narrower, I'll insert the width attribute and set it to 350. Then I'll refresh the browser. Now the box tightly surrounds the form. I'm quite satisfied with the layout of the form now, but I'd still like to change fonts and colors. I'm going to add the font family property to the field set selector. I like sans serif fonts, so I can set the value to Arial, for example. Now that we've refreshed the browser, we can see the form is using a sans serif font. Still, the font seems a little large to me, so just add the font size property and set its value to 13 pixels. After refreshing the page, we see that 13 pixels is just right. Finally, black seems just way too high contrast to me, so I'll change the font color to gray by using the color property. I'm quite happy with the font, so, as my next step, I'd like to change the background of the whole form. Let's go ahead and do it with the help of the background property. Let me just type background and enter the hexadecimal code for a light gray as its value. After adding the background color, the form looks even more compact. To finish off, I'd like to modify the border of the input elements. I'll just add the input selector to the style definition. Using the border property, I'll create a 1 pixel wide solid gray box. After refreshing the page, we can see the final look of the styled form. I look forward to seeing you at the next lesson.